Welcome to Off the Richter Scale. This is now episode 2, presented by Tectonic Takes. And with that, we have our second guest of this show, Paul Dewhurst. Paul, how are you today?
Good, Abel. How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. I'm so glad that you can join us. It seemed like our schedules were in conflict forever.
Yeah, we had to do a little pivoting, but glad we're talking right now. Appreciate the time.
For sure. I appreciate you coming on to this show. We had in the first episode Sam Benavides, who's actually a colleague of yours, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Sam and I have worked together for a very long time, and he's knows the video world, the social world, and understands content. Definitely a lifer of the club. So yeah, definitely a good guest to have on.
For sure. And you guys both work with digital media, but I understand that people who produce things, they have their own sense of creativity. People have different angles to approach projects, and that's kind of why I wanted to have someone else who worked in the digital world, because you can't really just get a glimpse of it from just one person. So by having you on, we're gonna explore this a little deeper. But before we get into that, I know you kind of introduced yourself already. If you don't mind telling us where you're from, a little background on you. We want to know who you are as a person.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So I'm from Pomona, California. Um, Came up to the Bay Area for an opportunity to play college soccer. Played at Cal State East Bay in Hayward for 4 years, and once I got out of college, I got an internship with the San Jose Earthquakes in public relations. From there, I pivoted to digital marketing. There's a full-time job that I applied for, and I was given the role. And ever since then, I basically moved up within the company from strategist to manager of digital marketing to director of digital marketing. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun working here. This is 7 seasons for me. We're closing out on 7 seasons, and just to learn about the club, the history of the club, which is super unique, and just knowing the pride and joy that comes from the people of San Jose, the Bay Area. It's been a lot of fun. So it's just to be able to help spread the word about the club, the game, in this community, and hopefully to a national level.
And you mentioned that you're not a Bay Area native. So how was that transition from where you lived originally to the Bay Area? How was that? How did that change you?
Yeah, I mean, the Bay Area made me who I am today, made me grow up, and made me be a man. It was at times unforgiving, at times just the ultimate teacher, all about life and business, and just to be a quality human being, which I feel like is super important and probably above all the most important thing. But yeah, it just taught me the great pride that people have to be from this area. Obviously, a lot of change and influx of people who are coming here, but understanding that it isn't just about the tech, it isn't just about the new companies coming here, but understanding there's a rich history, tradition of families from generation to generation that are here living and are Quakes fans and who have been here for decades. And yeah, it's been super fun to understand that, but it was definitely a transition, and understanding that you need to speak to the fans, the community, in the right way, or else you'll lose them, you'll lose the
Right,
fans.
right.
So it's been fun and rewarding, and just like super fortunate to be a part of it.
For sure. And everyone in the Bay Area, from my experience, I've lived here my entire life. Everyone has a lot of character. I feel like to make it big, in the Bay Area, you need to have a lot of defining character. Not just character. You need to have a sense of direction as well.
100%. And I think just having a presence in the room, this could be that can mean literally or metaphorically, but like
Mm-hmm.
having a presence in how you hold yourself, having a presence on behalf of the Quakes. What can you do to be relevant and important in such a saturated business market, sports market? I mean, we have the Warriors, Niners, Giants, A's, the Sharks. We had the Raiders, and there's so much
Mm-hmm.
sports going on. How do you stand out? How can you be different, unique, and something that fans want to follow? And that's just sports. That I'm not even talking about business, culture,
Right, right.
music, all these other different aspects of life. But yeah, it's been. I really wouldn't trade this experience for anything because it just taught me so many things uh, in business and just in life.
Yeah, and I think you have for sure made your mark on Bay Area culture. I mean, that's why I'm having you on the show because I admire all of the work that you do. So moving, of course, and so moving forward with that, what exactly is your job? What do you do?
No, yeah. So my title is director of digital marketing. So I oversee a team of social creators, full time and part time employees who, we work all together in tandem to provide social content to fans. So making sure our social platforms are relevant, updated, producing quality content, and just making sure we're at the top of minds of fans. I also do a lot of analytical digital reporting where we take weekly and monthly reports and we send them up to VPs, kind of higher ups in the company to see, hey, we're doing really well in this area. Hey, we're not actually doing well in this area. How can we fix that? So definitely doing a lot of that. I work close with sponsorship, our sponsorship team to help sell different sponsors to the likes of PayPal, Coke, all these different sponsors coming in. Working with ticketing to help leverage ticket sales for fans. Working closely with the first team to making sure that we're telling the story of the team the right way and in the appropriate way to build the players' brands as well, helping them get verified on social media,
It's a big
helping them buy
one.
into social media as well. And I'm actually going to Portland tomorrow. I know this is probably
Nice.
gonna be taped, but so we have a game Wednesday, but traveling tomorrow with the team to cover the game, photos, video, and just having a social media presence up there. So yeah, it's wearing a lot of hats for sure, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you referred to the San Jose Earthquakes as a company at one point. And do you think that's like a reflection of how much work goes into the club that's not on the pitch that people don't see?
Yeah, I can't talk about some of these front office workers enough in terms of the work they put in, from ticket sales to sponsorship sales to so many different entities, the marketing team to help market what we're doing. There's so many behind the scenes figures that will come in and really make this soccer team go and to make it a viable business. And I think that's super important for people to know that there are people working hard, making sure that we're putting out the best product that we can for the fan. Obviously, we don't control, stuff on the pitch, and we have good days, we have bad days, just like any other
Mhm.
profession. But from a business side, from a in stadium perspective, we're trying to give fans the best possible experience, and that goes with social media too. We want you to follow our accounts and feel proud to be from San Jose, or to be a fan of the Quakes, and just have a sense of pride when you follow our stuff.
For sure, pride is a big part of it, and this is why I decided to make this show off the Richter scale because you see interviews on YouTube channels like Tectonic Takes, and it's usually the players. The players have the spotlight, but I made this so that we can highlight like what I call the unsung heroes of making the San Jose Earthquakes go. So we definitely appreciate all those employees that are working at the company, whether we know it or not. If we enjoy Quakes games and if we enjoy the stadium experience and all of that, then we're appreciating the employees. But I wanted to make this just to make sure that people know what they are appreciating.
There's some, yeah, no, I definitely appreciate that, and there's some amazing stories in this company as well from people who've worked with the team since the Clash era, who have seen have been there since 2001 championship teams. We have people working game days who have been with the team since the 70s. So, it's just so many layers to the employees working here and all the different things they've seen.
So I asked this question to Sam, and he gave me a very complex answer, and I kind of expect you to give me a similar answer. My question is, what is a day in the life like at your job?
Yeah, I mean, there can't be a simple answer to that. I think that's impossible for both him and I in our respective roles. I think what's so cool about this job, I mean, if you like structure, then maybe this may not be the right role, but I think in terms of every day is a new day. You won't be doing the same thing every single moment of every single day, every week. So there are different variations of my day depending on what's happening in the season. So tomorrow I'll be flying to Portland. We'll be capturing content of the team, more specifically following Benji Kikanovich around. We're going to be doing a day in the life video feature with him. So tomorrow, following him on the plane, from the bus to the plane to the hotel so there's a bunch of different elements that I'll be focusing on there. And then, meetings that definitely happen every day, a lot of them, just to make sure we're staying up to speed on certain projects, making sure partnership marketing has things they need for certain social media posts, make sure ticketing is getting ticket pushes on behalf of our platform. I just got a notification from a player today to get verified on social media, to if I can contact the people I know from Facebook to get them verified. Today I did like a weekly social media report that kind of looks back at where we're ranked in engagement in the league, what posts did well, what posts didn't do well. So yeah, I mean, there's so many different things. I'll be sending out a social media schedule for the week later today, and there's so many different elements depending on the day, depending on the week. But I think that's what makes this job fun. And game days are a lot going on too, making sure that we're covering the game, staying relevant on our platforms, posting what we need to do, continuing to push the narrative of the Quakes being a family, being a team for the city, a team for the Bay Area region. So I can go on and on, but hopefully that painted a good picture.
Oh, for sure it did. You mentioned if you like structure, then this job probably isn't for you. People are used to the same routine over and over. But with a job like this, there are new challenges every day, and you need to learn how to adapt to those challenges.
I think too, like I say that kind of tongue in cheek. There is like some structure. Obviously, we're not like doing whatever we want in here, and
right.
But there definitely is structure that keeps us moving and keeps us doing our jobs and doing it well. But in terms of if you like your days to be, back to back, kind of the same thing, it's kind of impossible in a way in this role. But that's what makes it fun.
Sure. And moving back into a little bit of your background, you work with cameras, you work with social media, you work with all of this. This interest in digital media. When did this interest begin? What sparked that?
Yeah, totally. So my dad, David Dewhurst, he currently, still is and is a photographer and videographer for car companies, motorcycle companies down in Los Angeles. So ever since the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s, he's That's been his work. So he's traveled all across the world, always had a camera in his hand, working for companies like Lexus, Toyota, Scion, Hyundai, everything under the sun he's kind of worked with. And on top of that, my brother, he's a videographer, Simon Dewhurst, videographer and photographer for rap artists in the LA area. So he goes on tours with Ty Dolla $ign. He's done stuff. Shot a music video with J. Cole. He's Corday's an up and coming artist that he works with currently. Goes on tour and trips with him, and so long story short, I think it's kind of like in my blood in terms of like the creative to capture moments, to think in an artistic way, and see the beauty in different things in life, and my experience in soccer and my knowledge, and I feel like I applied that to the game of soccer, to the Earthquakes as an organization, and it's kind of panned out. And yeah, I mean, it's something that is super fulfilling to be creative, to cover the game and cover something that you love.
Yeah, and I think that's so cool how like this kind of runs in the family, and you guys have covered like so many different things. I mean, your father working with car companies, and your brother working in the music world, and now you're doing soccer. It's like you guys are everywhere.
Yeah, and I think there's that underlining similarity, and it's just the love of capturing your passion and making sure you're storytelling it, and making sure you're doing what we love. We just do passion projects, that's kind of what we've been doing so far in our careers, and it's been a lot of fun. And my dad he'll give me kudos here and there, but he's kind of like the old school, this was cool, but you should have done X, Y, and Z. So he's the greatest supporter, but also the greatest critic. But that's sometimes that's what makes you do well and pushes you to take that next step.
He gives you tough love, right?
100% tough love, yeah. And yeah. I wouldn't want it any other way, because that's kind of what got me here. So it's been fun.
Yeah, well, I mean that's really inspiring, man. But we are reaching the end of this interview. Now I'm just going to leave you with this question: what has been your favorite moment with the San Jose Earthquakes that you can think of right now?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. When we opened the stadium in 2015, that first inaugural game at the time of Ice Stadium, now PayPal Park, it was just so fulfilling to see a new home for the area, and is still to this day one of the loudest games I had been to, and I think a lot of people forget how special that day was. Decision Day 2017, when Marco Urania scored that goal to get us into the playoffs. It was such insanity. It was such a crazy moment. Going to the All-Star game with Wando in 2019 in Orlando was a lot of fun. Just following his journey. That was such a great time, a big learning experience for me. Trying to think what else. I think in navigating the 2020 pandemic, like from a social and digital side, the strategy of like the challenge of being able to think of content and push things out in such an awful time for society, and that was fulfilling and just a memorable time to be able to step up from a business side and try and keep fans entertained, and at sometimes just make them feel comfortable and feel at ease at such like an unpredictable moment.
Yeah, you picked some great moments, man. The experience that I can share with you would be that 2017 Decision Day game against Minnesota United. I was there with my dad, and I felt like life peaked with that goal to give the Quakes a win.
I think that's just like when you, as a fan, you go through so much like ups and downs, and you'll never forget that moment, and especially like with your dad too, right? Like that stuff is something that the Quakes pride themselves on, just being like a hub for the community, being somewhere where family can go and, years later talk about a memorable moment that you guys had together. That's kind of what it's all about.
And surely that's one of the best things about this club. But we have officially reached the end of this interview. Paul, any final questions, comments?
No, yeah. Thanks for having me on. I think the Quakes is such a unique and special team. It's such a unique and special project. It's something that the Bay Area, the city of San Jose, the South Bay, it's something that you guys definitely should get behind. Something where it's such a family, such a community-focused club that welcomes everyone with open arms, not just from the game days, but the social media platforms to we're all inclusive, and there's not a better time than now to kind of get behind the club and move forward with us. And it's a special time, and hopefully you guys come out and continuing following us.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Paul. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for the time, man, and hopefully talk to you soon.
Social media, Instagram, Twitter, you want to drop that for us?
Yeah, so Twitter, Dewhurst_Paul, so at Dewhurst_Paul, and then Instagram, Doll Poohurst. So it's basically my name, but the first letters of each,
That's the best thing ever.
I made it when I like in 2012 or something, young and dumb, but it's kind of it's kind of stuck, excuse me. And yeah, so go follow, and definitely, or I would really appreciate it.
Right. So, of course, all of the links will be in the description. Also, follow Tectonic Takes on Instagram and Twitter. Paul, once again, you're doing us a huge favor by being on the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being patient and sticking with me when I had to reschedule here and there. So, yeah, appreciate it. You guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.